In today's video, we're going to be talking about some roster changes that are coming to the RLCS. One being a team that is trying to find a new third, and another rumor that is actually quite surprising because the team's actually ranked in the top 8 overall. We also have the announcement of the NA Winter Majors bracket. We finally get to see which teams are playing against each other and kind of an assumption of how the bracket is going to go. And then we also have the final details of the main event. We know the match card for SMUG 8, so we'll be going over the matches for that as well. What is up, everybody? Lawler here, your inside source for all things Rocket League. A lot of stuff actually to cover this week, and going to be trying to put out the videos as quickly as possible. But we have daily videos on a lot of different topics, including like a lawsuit that was just settled. So a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to. First things up, we're going to be talking about is eUnited. Obviously, we've been trying to figure out what's going on with their roster, and with the removal of Wonder Mike, we're not exactly sure who's going to completely fill out the roster with Ajax and Tristan. Recently, in a Star Circuit qualifier that actually ended up happening yesterday, did actually sign up with Dappur. Currently, Dappur has not been competing with the roster. He was for the fall split, competing with Charlotte Phoenix, and tried out with a couple different rosters. He played for Sonics at one point, but then he was on Kansas City Pioneers as a sub. So he hasn't been competing recently at the pro level, but has probably still kept up his mechanics and everything else. So it is good to see that he is trying out with another main roster. I think he's still a very talented player. My concerns just come with if he is going to be able to help the United team kind of get to that next step back into the top 6. Speculation, whether I think it's good or not, is not important, but based upon what I'm seeing from the roster, it looks like, based upon this format, that they want to enable Tristan and Ajax, and that if Dappur takes more of a passive role and uses his mechanics and his capabilities of speed to set up his teammates, this could be a threat. Ultimately, not sure on what the playstyle is going to be. Didn't get to watch any of the matches because I was busy with my own stuff. But fingers crossed that Dappur ends up finding a new home. He's probably one of the most liked pros actually in the North American scene. Super wholesome dude, really nice. It was actually just recently his birthday. So Dappur, if you didn't see the DM, happy birthday. But excited to see what ends up going on with the United roster. A lot of plans for them, hopefully in the future, as they do expect excellence for their teams. Another rumor put out by Shift shows that after 7th to 8th place finish in the European Winter Major, the duo of Arju and Mitane will seek out a replacement for Eekso on the roster going forward. For those of you that don't know who Galaxy Racer is, they were the former Monkeys roster. That was Taz, Mitane, and Eekso. Taz, they ended up removing and bringing in Arju, and when they brought him in, it was almost like an immediate resurgence of the team where they started making top 6, top 4 in the grid, and having better and better performances to the point where consistently they were actually finding themselves in like actual chances to make it to the World Championship if they kept up their performances. The last split hasn't gone amazing for them, but it definitely hasn't been bad. So a lot of people actually really surprised by this rumor, if it is one. Keep in mind, it is a rumor. There is no guarantee this is happening, but if Eekso gets replaced, consider me shocked, and two, like, why? I honestly don't know what's going on. So Andy the Mandy, their coach, hopefully he's got some reasoning behind this. Maybe it's not even his decision. Maybe it's some internal stuff going on, but all in all, I do like this team. They have a lot of pop-off potential. Eekso is a good part of that, so I personally will be surprised if this one ends up changing up, but consider me stunned by the information if it is true. Next up, you guys should be able to see a graphic somewhere probably over here of the North American Major bracket. For those that do not know, the North American Major, we were still waiting on who was going where. We've been having like predictions and assumptions in my Discord about what the seeding was going to be, and the person who predicted it was actually 100% correct. Because they ended up doing the winter split and finding out the seeding as well. But based upon the way that it's looking, it does seem like the seeding is pretty predictable. I have Envy as the number 1 seed, with Rogue as the number 4 seed, and then Energy Space Station as 2 and 3. So that does align. Fun fact, Space Station is in the gaming house, if you guys do not know that or have not seen them streaming. Redo's got there 2 Sundays ago, so he's already been there for over a week, while Chrome, Sipical, and Arsenal got there, I think, like 2-3 days ago. They got there on Sunday of the most recent past weekend, so during like the EU major. So they are boot camping. They will be there for the entire week, practicing and getting ready for the major, and then as soon as the major's done, they fly home on Monday for when I talk to Chrome. So boot camping, hopefully Space Station. From what I've seen on the streams, the boys are feeling it, so it looks like things are vibing well. I do think it is possible for Space Station to make a back-to-back run, but you guys are gonna have to wait for my predictions and my power rankings until Friday, so keep that in mind. Any power rankings on Friday. I do think version 1 has the best possible chance that they've had when it comes to the bracket. I don't think there is an easy bracket whatsoever. I do think this is difficult no matter which way you look at it. Recently, they have had Kansas City Pioneers numbers, so I could see them winning. And even if they lose to NRG, who they drop down to and who they would play is actually probably in their benefit, being either PK, Sonics, Peeps, or Alpine. So it'll be interesting to see how this one ends up playing out, but this is the bracket. We'll be tackling this more on Friday, so just letting you guys know it is out and available so you can see who's playing who. I think the worst part about that thing, though, is G2 is probably going to beat Ghost, and then you got G2 versus Space Station right away. That's pretty rough. Last but not least, for the news today, we've been talking about Salt Mine Underground and all the different events and matches that are going on it, but we have what it looks like probably the final title card. So we know all the matches. Because of AJ oversleeping from the sounds of it from the last SMUG, they are extending a co-main event, so there will be 2 main events that are going down in this one. If you want to take a look at the graphic as well, it does showcase that Jesse and K-Dop are going to be playing Scrub in a mod. You've got Arsenal versus Reddles, Fairy Peak versus Eekso, Ludwig versus Atrioc, and then the co-main event is Mile versus Ricky, which was announced today. And then the main event is Monkey Moon versus Ocalid. That is going to be a long event. Ones do take a very long time, but at the same time, a lot of really good matches. There's a couple I personally have my eyes on and a couple I think that are going to go pretty one-sided, but I do like the mix of some memory and some fun and some potential upsets, as well as just show matches and stuff in general. Also, a couple players getting a little bit more credit. Not too many people have been able to watch Ricky play, and they do think that Mile is the favorite. Do want to give you guys a heads up. Ricky's pretty good and has showcased that numerous times in Johnny's show matches. So keep that up. But that is the official match card. We have everything it looks like for SMUG 8, and it is looking to be a great event. Again, shout outs to Johnny Boy, Smugsworth, and everybody else that works behind the scenes there. A lot of work being put into these. The trailers and everything that they've been putting out have been absolutely fantastic. The one that they just put out for Ricky and Mile, I think the cinematography of it and the way they do the music and match everything, I think is super cool. So make sure you guys go show support to the people making those trailers, because it is a lot of work. So a lot of good stuff. The more production, the better. And SMUG continues to do better and better. I really hope that they do secure a Season 2 funding from Psyonix so they can continue to make these happen. That is going to wrap it up for this video of your Rocket League news. As always, if you enjoyed the content, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, turn on notifications. Trying to get to 30K and then 50K by the end of the year. Getting closer and closer, and it is all thanks to you all. If you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you drop those down below. And if there's information you're looking for, you can find that in the description, along with all my social medias. But that is going to do it for this video. We will see you tomorrow for more Rocket League news. I'm Lawler, and I will catch you next time. Peace.